and influence how you make it. If your title is your only influence, if that's the greatest thing about you, then there's not much left. If you have to have a title to prove who you are so that you can get honor and respect and this and that and the other, then obviously there's very little left about you. Let the work that I've done. Now I know that's an old song, but let the work that I've done speak for me. And I think that when we do that, we arrive as clergy in a very healthy place with regard to who we are and what kind of impact we're supposed to make for the kingdom in the earth.
Wow.
Mm. Wow.
Absolutely.
Bishop, you sharing on today. Both of you are sharing on today. I really appreciate you. So let me do this. Let me get to the last question that we can move on. And I thank you so much, Bishop Vann, for being on here. I know you got a major event coming up and next month. I see you got a roster. you got a roster next month. You got your whole next month. You got a whole roster. Bishop, just do me a favor. Plug in who you have coming in next month for Breakthrough. Go ahead. Just plug in just a little bit.
Okay, this is our Breakthrough Conference. It's actually our 20th year.
Wow.
We started in 2002, and we started as a sort of an adjunct to my 25th anniversary. So I just had my 45th. So this is 20 years of the Breakthrough Conference. This year we're doing it for the month of May, every Wednesday night, 4 Wednesday nights. May 4th, we have Dr. Jamal Harrison Bryant with us. All the services are at 7 o'clock. On May 11th, Elder Marissa Farrell. If you have not heard Marissa Farrell, listen, I promise you, you need to come and be with us on May 11th, 7 o'clock. On May 18th, Dr. John Adolph from Beaumont, Texas. This is a tremendous man of God. And he's been to Detroit in a couple of places, but maybe not had full exposure. But I'm telling you, you really, really want to come. And I think Second Ebenezer has a bit of a reputation for bringing great men and women of God to us. So you can't go wrong with any of these nights. And then May the 25th will be Bishop Brandon Jacobs from Hammond, Indiana. He is a powerhouse. You don't want to miss any of those Wednesday nights. And so rather than having it all in one week, we separated it one night each week in May so that you can come to every one and be blessed.
Wow. Man, wow. Man, May is going to be very powerful and very impactful over there at Second Ave. I greatly appreciate it for that wonderful roster that you have going on in May for your Breakthrough. 20 years. Woo. Man, you've been doing it for a long time, Bishop. You've been doing it for a long time. All right, Bishop, let me do this.
Elder Carlton, I just wanted to briefly add there as a asterisk that Bishop Vann has been one of the leading generals in the city of Detroit who has come across denominational lines.
Mm-hmm.
And it is reflective in this lineup that he has in the month of May. It shows, I mean, just whoever you follow. I mean, you cannot miss these voices that are coming. And I just want to publicly say thank you, Bishop Vann, for your years of commitment to the community, to the church world, to the marketplace, to what you give, how you have served in the community. Thank you. God bless you. We are so appreciative that you are a Detroiter. And I mean that wholeheartedly. Thank you so very much, Your Grace.
That is so kind of you. And I as well honor and appreciate your service in ministry and in the community as well. Again, you're one of those voices of maturity that we can always depend on And you're also one of those gracious people that really exemplify what you believe and what you do in every way in which you do it. And so I'm just glad I know you. And
Oh,
there's
bless you,
some great
Bishop.
folk in Detroit, and Detroit is my city. And before I take it back, I'll add more to it. So
Yes, sir.
thank God for you.
Bless you, Bishop.
All right, bishops. This is my last question, then we are done for today. All right, if there's one thing from your audio years of experience in which you have can say in the beginning during that season it was a failure, but at the end of that season you turned around and said it was a blessing, can you share that to the next generation of preachers?
You said it was a failure.
Yeah, in the beginning that season you felt like, oh, this is a failure, this is about to fail. Then after 2-3 years later, you look back at it like that was a blessing. I'm glad that happened the way it did.
Wow, I've got so many things.
He's got so many.
I guess one of them was, we started Vanguard Community Development Corporation almost 30 years ago now. And when I started with no money, no staff. And I went to my officers. They didn't quite understand what I was trying to do, but they trusted me and showed their love to me. And a couple of times I almost decided to let it go and didn't know how it was going to work out. And, we've been able to build millions and millions of dollars of housing and economic development throughout the city. So that's one. The other one probably had to be the building that we were in. Started out with all my plans, year-long strategic planning process, had 100 of our folk involved, leaders involved, a whole bunch of other things. Had no other idea, had all kind of projections and predictions and all like that in place. And then the Great Recession came up, almost like COVID. The Great Recession came up, and we had to build in a recession. And you know how that goes. I had to look back and try to figure out, okay, did I hear from God or did I not hear from God? I knew I had heard from God. And so here we've been in our building 15 years. And so I guess the rest is history.
Wow. Just stand in the storm. Just stay in the storm. Yeah. Thank you so much, Bishop Vann. Bishop Scott, what can you say? What do you have?
Wow. Failures. I think sometimes for every leader, because we're the hardest on ourselves. Wow. I think one of the biggest ones, well, maybe not one of the biggest, but one of the ones that stand out the most was when I knew that I had heard God for us going outside to do ministry. From the beginning, it looked like a failure because we were, if you remember, we were doing Friday nights outside. We were doing Sundays outside. We had moved literally out of the building and we were literally doing outdoor church. To me, it was a failure because, I was hearing people say, she's dragging people outside. They don't have anywhere to worship. They're just out there. It's just a bunch of nomads. But it turned out to be a great blessing in that one of, and I don't know if you remember this, but there was a young man one night who was walking down the street and he asked for prayer. And come to find out that one of the members of our church, that was his son. They had not seen each other in years. and there was a reconciliation. We became a staple in that community on 6 Mile, where people would just come out of their houses and sit on the porches and just hear the word. We'd stop traffic on Wyoming and 6 Mile because people would leave CBS and just pull over and worship. And I viewed it as a failure in the beginning because I said, who's doing outreach? I mean, well, okay, well, Lord, it was just out of my box. It was out of my box. I'll say that. Not that no one was doing it, not that it was above and beyond anybody else, but it was out of my box because I've been accustomed to being in the building. So maybe a service, a concert, but just ongoing. But I saw the greatest growth in some of the members that I had never seen. I saw them be engaged in areas that I had never, ever seen. Had we not followed through, then I would have never seen the growth. And even out of that, many of them moving on and matriculating into other areas and going back to school and getting better jobs. I mean, and the list just goes on and on and on of the things that were birthed out of that. So that was a big one. But I will say this about the word or the concept of failure. Again, I think that every leader is harder on themselves than anyone else will ever be. It is very, very hard when you know that God has called you to do something, because you cannot walk away from it until the Lord releases you from it, even if the people don't do what they're supposed to do, even if the people don't catch it, even if the people don't believe in you. You've got to have the faith enough to believe God's going to see you through. So I would say this, and not necessarily in terms of the failure, but that I have trusted God every step of the way. And it is amazing. He has never, ever let me down. Even when I didn't believe me, God believed. And so I'm thankful for that. And the birthing and the development and the growth that came out of that, and the doors that were and have been opened and continue to open, and even in the new areas now where we are moving in the community, and land purchases and houses and just all of those things. Now I'm seeing doors open, but I got to tell you, I was terrified. I was terrified because as the leader, if you succeed, everybody pats you on the back. But if you fail, people will never, ever let you forget it. And you just cannot be afraid to fail. That's it.
Wow. So this is what I want to do. Okay. All right. Since you hit on with this. All right. Bishop Vann, do me one favor before we go. Thank you so much, Bishop Vann, for speaking that, sharing that story, because you're really talking to me, believing on just starting something from the ground up with no money and just believing what God has said unto you. And just saying, look, Lord, I don't know where it's going to come from, but send the help, Lord. I thank you so much for that. So Bishop Vann, Bishop Scott, do me this. Give me like a quick 30 seconds where you could speak to a leader right now who said he want to throw in the towel. What would you say to him right now? Let's go with Bishop Vann.
You've come too far to quit. And always remember your call. Your call is not, see, God didn't necessarily call us to success. Matter of fact, we don't even know what success truly is in God's eyesight. Success in his eyesight is us doing what he told us to do. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that there are a lot of accolades. That doesn't necessarily mean you get pats on the back. Your picture ain't on the front of Time magazine, whatever. But we've got to look at ourselves as God sees us. And so I would say to any pastor that's out there that's having second thoughts, whatever it may be, trust the God that called you. First of all, examine whether or not you've been called. And then trust the God that called you. And then ask that same God, what do I do now? And don't let it be based on what people are going to say, what folk think, your ego, your pride. Let it be based upon what God is saying to you.
Wow. Bishop Scott.
I will say, don't allow what you see from other houses of worship, from other leaders, what that looks like, to be your determining factor for your assignment. Don't allow it. Know that if for certain, and I agree with Bishop, the Lord has called you to this, then he's always going to make a way. But I think so often, Elder, we can easily become consumed and sidetracked by what we see others doing. And that is our measuring stick for where we should be. And the truth of the matter is, if you remain focused and faithful to what God has called you to, then God will bless you right where you are because he called you to it. One last thing, be certain to care again for you. Stay healthy mentally, physically, psychologically, because you're going to need it. Because if there's ever been a season that you will be under attack, it is when you stand on the front line, that little thing called senior pastor. You move into a level of attack that you have never, ever seen. You've never read it in a book. You don't know anything about it until it hits your address. But God is faithful.
Wow. Wow. Thank y'all so much for sharing and being with us on today. I'm going to have to try to get both of y'all's back. And let's talk about that topic right there, the attack on the senior pastor. That we got to talk about that. We're going to have to dig into that, the attack on senior pastors. We're going to have to talk about that between both of you and the years of experience that you have been on the wall. I want to pray and continue to pray for you that you continue to stay on the wall. Pray for your strength, your stamina, your faithfulness, that the doors will continue to open for you, that God will breathe into you new wind, revive you, show you new things like never before in this time. That is my prayer for both of you in this season. Again, for everyone who's watching, everyone who's listening on our Apple Podcasts, on our Spotify and Google Play, for those who are watching right now on Facebook, watch us a little bit later on YouTube. I'm telling you, these nuggets were dropped on today. Just a little side note, I just want to bring this up. Just a great announcement, because I know Bishop Vann got something going on in May, but in October, we got the Congress Service Conference come up where Bishop Vann was one of the first speakers at the conference. And now we are here at year number 4 and we are still going. We got 2 awesome preachers that's going to come in. When I say they are awesome, they are awesome. We got Dr. Aaron McNair II coming in here from North Carolina, which I'm at. I probably need to go meet with him soon while I'm here, but he's going to come into the city of Detroit. Guess what? This will be his first time in the city of Detroit. Oh, we got to show him. We got to show how we do and share our love to him and show how we do it in Detroit. Detroit, we love to hear the word, but we got to make sure we show this man, this awesome preacher, how we do things in Detroit. And then also my dear friend, I call him brother now because we had a conversation. He said we are brothers now. So Pastor Daniel Latmere, who is phenomenal, who can walk the word like no other. I tell you, if he was there last year, when I say he preached the text till it was dry. Then when it got dry, he put more moisture on it and then preached that out of it. I'm telling you, that man went. It was something to see. But he will be with us October 7th and 8th. Please, you'll see more information, more flyer in detail coming out as far as when this will be, where the location will be. Please come and be a part. It's free to you. Don't worry about it. It's free to you. Just come and hear what God has said. Our theme for this year is between the porch and the altar. That's the theme this year, between the porch and the altar. So that's the old Pentecostal in me. Okay, Bishop, man, that's the old Pentecostal in me. Okay, that's the old one in me. Okay,
that's great.
I can't let it go. That's not never gonna leave. That's never gonna leave. All right. But again, thank you so much, Bishop Vann, Bishop Scott, for being on here. I can't wait to have you come back on here, but we can talk about that. The attack of senior leadership. Woo! I think that one might shake some people up. That might shake them and wake them up, give them some new fire. Again, thank you so much. Bishop Scott, love you so much.
Likewise, sir.
Bishop Vann, I love you, man. Thank you so much. Keep up the good work over there at Second Ed. Everyone, again, Second Ed in the month of May, every Wednesday at 7:00. Every Wednesday. I'm telling you, he got a lineup. You're not going to be disappointed. You're not going to be disappointed. Please go be at Second Ed every Wednesday next month in the month of May at 7:00. Trust and believe you're not going to regret it. There's going to be fresh word in the house, breakthrough to take place. All right.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Bishop Vann. I salute you, man of God. Send our love to your family, your wife, to Second Ed. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you, sir.
Thank you so much.
All right. Everyone have a great time. We'll see you till next time. Have a great day.
Bless you. Good night.